Hi guys, welcome to Rep Sports. And just an hour ago, we have broken the news. Actually, it's our chief in editor of Rep Sports, Boria Mojumdar. He has been in the forefront of this story since the very beginning. That AIF most likely to terminate Igor's Stimac contract, and AIFF finally did. And Boria Mojumdar also broke the letter that was also sent to. And here is our chief in editor, Boria Mojumdar. So, Boria Mojumdar, it's all yours. Why don't you start by breaking down the letter?
No, see, there are multiple breakings to be done actually. I mean, first things first, uh, yesterday, the first moot point. I mean, why don't you have points of the letter, Rahul? Why don't you read some of the allegations that head coach Igor Stimac has brought against AIFF President Kalyan Chobe? It is quite damning. If you read some of the allegations that have been brought, why don't you read that for our viewers, and then let's deconstruct as to where this matter is, because this is now quite serious, and it has now gone to a level where there is a point of no return. This has become ugly. It has become seriously problematic. And I don't see a comeback from here. I also see that this getting damning and damning and damning. I mean, I honestly, I was not even keen to do this live, because where is Indian football headed? In fact, I thought we should cancel it because it's becoming so depressing at times. It's becoming so depressing when you think of that sport. 7 days ago also we were so upbeat about it, and all of a sudden all that we are talking about is legal allegations, trade-offs, all kinds of things. Today I get a call saying, please don't do such negative stories, what will happen? I mean, come on. I mean, and you are like, it's our job as journalists to put out negative stories. Why have you guys done this? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm honestly a little disillusioned. Let me read out a couple of paragraphs that I was telling Rahul about, and y'all can decide for yourselves. Okay, so there are four points that Coach Igor Stimac has brought into the public life today. I mean, number one, President Kalyan Chobe changed my public statement given to AIFF media. President Mr. Chobe, together with Sai officials, changed my official player list for the Asian Games, adding three senior players and allowing ISL clubs to decide which players will represent the country at the Asian Games. This is serious stuff, yeah. Serious stuff. The way you organized the travel for our team going to China and back was unforgettable. President Kalyan Chobe arranged the games for the senior national team without consulting me. In that way, destroyed our chances of reaching satisfactory deal with FSDL officials upon the national team calendar from September 23 to January 24. President Kalyan Chobe cancelled my PC, which was supposed to happen after the AFC Asian Cup. Hereby, I am adding my lawyer, Mr. Radich, to take over communication. I don't want to speak or hear from AIFF anymore. So he's actually saying his lawyer takes over from here on, Mr. Radich, to take over the communication, because he doesn't want to hear from AIFF anymore. Breaking here on Rev Sports. This is what Steamatch writes. Then he ends saying, based on the, I kindly ask you to immediately, no later in 10 days, organize payment for me for this termination of the contract without just cause in the amount, which will represent a residual value of my employment contract that was prematurely terminated by AIFF, failing which I will start proceedings in the FIFA Football Tribunal.
No,
So at
absolutely.
one level, he is telling them, taking you to court, I'll sue you. I'll take you to the FIFA Football Tribunal. By the way, do you know, both of you, are football reporters, do you know the amount he's talking about?
I mean, the compensation fee, or
Yes, yes, the amount that he's talking about.
at first, I think he was supposed to get around 3 crore 60 lakhs, but now I
Okay,
think
so it is
he's demanding.
920,000 US dollars, which is 8 crore Indian rupees. So we are breaking here on Rev Sports 920,000 US dollars, 2 years salary, 2 years salary plus certain perks, etc. etc. 920,000 US dollars is what he's claiming. Now, if this goes to court, and by the way, this is a signed contract. It is not a random thing that, that I am giving somebody this. It is a signed contract, Rahul. 8 crore rupees. 8 crores. It is not penny change. 8 crores is what he's talking about. And I was stunned that, for example, you are employed with Rev Sports. I am employed with Rev Sports as consultant, owner, shareholder, whatever it is. All of us have a contract. It will have a exit clause. Rahul can say, okay, I don't want to work for Rev Sports anymore. I am giving you a 3-month notice. I can say the same. I can say the same to stay. In this case, there is no exit clause. There is no exit clause. It says if you want to terminate, you can terminate, but you have to give me 2 years salary. Arre,
Yeah.
where did this happen? By the way, do you know when this happened?
No.
23rd September is the first email. I if I put all of this out in the public domain, trust me, all hell will break loose. All hell will break loose. 23rd September. Let me read out a couple of things for you guys. An email was exchanged between the AIFF top brass and Stimac on 23rd September, which says 24th, 2023, that the contract has to be done in this manner without clause of 60 days notice for contract termination of both parties. Number one, without clause of 60 days notice for contract termination of both parties. Number two, if there is no breach, listen to this, if there is no contract breach and you decide to terminate the contract, it needs to be paid full amount to the last date of contract duration. And they've agreed to it. They've actually agreed to it. I mean, think about it, that I've given you a contract which says, boss, you're going to pay me for 2 years. Get lost. And I've signed it, damn it, I've signed it. This is national money. It's not my father's money. It is national money. Someone has signed it. Someone on the AIFF, whatever management, has signed it. And don't tell me it was not legally vetted. It must have been. Somebody in the AIFF legal department must have checked it. It's a contract.
Yeah.
So you mean to say the AIFF legal department checks a contract with no 60-day clause, no termination clause, no nothing. You just sign and you say, I will give you 2 years salary. And now what happens? Now where is the salary going to come from? 920,000 US dollars. 920,000 US dollars. 8 crore rupees. 8 crores. Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay? Somebody has to tell us. Yesterday you terminated the contract. What is the next step? Boss, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look at that letter today. Rahul, you broke the letter. You talk about it. Snehashish, you talk about it. I have not seen anything like this, boss.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I think just even few days ago, also, the entire football fraternity was against Stimac. They urged the federation to sack him immediately after the failure in the AFC Asian Cup. But now with this letter, I think at least 70% of them have taken the side of Igor Stimac. Now they also want those culprits in AIFF who are also responsible for the failure of Indian team. So I think, but the first time when I saw this letter, I was like, whoa, this man has guts really, and what he is doing is really taking some right steps going forward. To be honest, because Igor Stimac is such a high-profile coach, and when you take such a big decision, I think even we got to know after the loss against Qatar that Igor will come back to India after 2 weeks, and then they will sit and decide about the future of Igor Stimac. But they did nothing like that, and they suddenly they took this decision, and even coach didn't know. You were the first who broke this letter. Even coach didn't know. Later he got to know about this letter. I think this is not a manner how you should behave with such a high-profile coach like Igor Stimac, because he is a World Cupper. It's not a joke. So I think what the AIFF have done is certainly wrong.
Let me, before I go to Snehashish, yesterday we were talking about this. We broke this news on Rev Sports that Stimac has given them the option that I will resign provided you all also resign. By the way, the letter that Stimac has said, and we are quoting exclusive content from the letter, by the way. The letter that they have no right to waste taxpayers' money. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. By the way, the letter that we are quoting, and we are quoting the letter. It says, okay, where is it? In a letter, sincere belief, fulfill the promises, etc., etc. Where is it? I have just seen the article in accordance. I have quote, I have even offered you to leave my position if others are ready to take their part of responsibility and do the same. You reluctantly refuse to consider that as an option, and that's clearly stating how much you actually care about Indian football. This is a direct attack. This is a direct attack at the AIFF top brass, Hashish. I quote again. I have even offered exactly what Red Sports broke yesterday. We broke this story that Stimac has said this. I have even offered you to leave my position if others are ready to take their part of responsibility and do the same. You reluctantly refuse to consider that as an option, and that's clearly stating how much you actually care about Indian football. He's taken everybody on. Snehashish, thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. When I saw the letter today, I was shocked because we all follow European football a lot, the club culture. In the club culture, it is quite a daily picture, like changing, sacking a coach after a bad season, and then the coach will have some bad relationship with two or three players. So it's a normal picture for a club, from a club perspective. But when it comes to national team, you don't get to see such things. And for Indian football at this stage, I think it is a very saddening part. And the way Rahul said, I think I absolutely agree to that. That after 5 years of service, okay, the result have not been good in the last 1 year. I completely agree with that. But in 2023, this match, this Croatian coach managed to give you some beautiful moments. I know it's sub championship. I know it's normal domestic cups and all, but still it's a cup. It's a tournament that India won, and then India came under 100 in the rankings. So that was a moment where every Indian fans were dreaming that okay, Stimac is the man to going forward, and he's taking the team in the right direction. But yeah, in the last few months, some decisions were not didn't came right for Stimac, and every fan were upset with him. I completely agree to that. But the way the situation handled by the AIFF, I think is completely wrong. And the allegations right now that Stimac is putting on AIF, if this comes out as true, I think it's a horrible scenario for Indian football going forward. Sir, mute.
Meher Sodhi says AIFF is being exposed in a very good way. It's getting ugly day by day. Thoughts?
It's getting ugly and ugly day by day. Yeah, I think it's just the introduction of this story because I think before this I don't remember when I have seen someone who has been fighting against the federation like this. I think what this man is doing, I think it's the shape that he is taking because you know we have also seen in the last few years that the team had not only had to face some top giants in Asia but also had to face some tough challenges, being logistic or facilities or infrastructure. Because first thing that Igor Stimac also mentioned about the logistic challenge that his team had to face. If you remember, our team played against Afghanistan in Ava City, and our Kullan Chobe promised that he will arrange a charter flight for the team, but ultimately it didn't happen. So the team took around 2 days to travel to Ava City, and to come back to India they took another 2 days. So the players got tired, and ultimately we saw the result. And on the opposite side, the Afghanistan team, they came by a charter flight and they reached Bengaluru 1 day ahead of Indian team. And not only this, I think we all know what happened during the Asian game as well. They reached
1 minute,
China just.
Rahul, 1 minute. Can you play this comment? Pankaj Thakare. Steamach fans, all three here. All three here are apparently Steamach fans. And he says we got better facilities than many African countries. Pankaj, one simple question to you. You can have any facility. Who asked you to sign a contract which allows Steamach to get 2 years of salary? Did I sign the contract? Did Rahul sign it? Did Snehashi sign it? Did Trisha sign it? You signed it. Who signed it? AIFF did. You work somewhere or you are unemployed. If you work somewhere, you must have an employment contract. That employment contract will have a clause. What clause is it? Tell us. Come on. Give us that clause. Is it the 1 month notice, 3 month notice, 6 month notice? Some clause, right? What is the clause? Now, here, this man is saying, I have no employment contract which states that I can be relieved in 3 months. He's saying, you have to give me 2 years' salary. Only then I will go. Whose money is it? Yours, mine. It is taxpayers' money. Today, AIFF pays this money, 8 crore rupees. Whose money is it? Nobody's, no federation officials' money. It is the taxpayers' money. I'm sorry, Pankaj. And we are not Stimac fans. We don't give a damn. Stimac is not my uncle. We are Indian football fans. Okay? We are Indian football fans. So let us be very clear. So stop your nonsense. Before you make such comments, we are Indian football fans. And I'm asking you on this live show, you tell me, where have you seen a contract where taxpayers' money is wasted because you have to give somebody 2 years' salary? Tell me. Please host an interview with Shaji Prabhakaran and Nilanjan Bhattacharjee. By the way, I've asked Shaji openly on social media, come and talk to me. He's given me a namaste. So it's on record. Please go and check. Ranjit Bajaj quote tweeted my live show. Shaji wrote something there. I wrote below that saying, Shaji, I'm willing to do the interview. I will put out every document. He has done a namaste. So I am not one of those people who will say something and not do it. Okay? I'm putting that on record. Trisha has joined us. Trisha, you have also worked in what? Multiple organizations, Star Sports, Sports Today, Rev Sports. Do you have a contract which gives you an exit clause? Or will you tomorrow tell me, oh, Boria, if you want to sack me, or if Rev Sports wants to sack me, give me 3 years salary? What is this happening? I mean, what is this happening?
Rubbish. It's absolutely.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I think it's absolutely rubbish. Rahul forwarded the mail to me. I saw it. I mean, it's funny, Boryada. I mean, such elementary mistake from AIFF. It's just elementary mistake. Nobody does that in a contract. And now, I mean, it's a joke. It's clearly written in everyone's contract, that there will be an exit clause. There will be some specific notice period that you have to serve or whatever it is, that whether it's 1 month settlement, 2 month settlement, or 90 days of, AIF if is the main culprit. I mean, it's silly from an organization that big, Boria. It's just silly. It's not even culprit. I mean, if they have overlooked the clause, or I don't know if they were going for something else, but elementary mistake which could cost a lot of money, a lot of bad blood. The trust is gone. So overall, after losing, now not only is the game behind, the whole organization, the way this is being dealt with, everything has been taken away from Indian football and especially football fans, players.
Totally agree with Trisha. Somebody said, don't make fraud coach a hero or something like that. What is fraud about it? If you have signed the contract which gives someone 2 years salary, he's asking for it. Now give it to him or take him to court. He has written you a letter which says, I will take you to court. Tell him, get lost, take us to court, we'll see you there. If you have the courage to say that, what's the problem? Say that. Igor Stimac, get lost. We don't care for your letter, we'll see you in court. Say it. Now, if you go and lose in the tribunal, it will be egg on India's face. Will you take responsibility? It will be India's loss. Indian Football Federation loses a case. Do you want that? What is this fraud coach, etc.? What is fraud about it? He has a contract. That contract guarantees him 2 years' money. What is fraud about it? I will rather say it is stupid on our part that you have given him such a contract. That's the truth. Face it. Face that truth. Today, he has sent a letter which we can quote, and we are not making up that letter. It's a letter by exclusively broken on Rev Sports. He has taken on AIFF point by point by point by point by point, and he's taken them to the cleaners. What is the response? What is the response to that? I mean, I don't know. Trisha, do you have a letter? I mean, have the copy of the letter. Can you read out a couple of paragraphs of those allegations for our viewers?
Absolutely, I can.
And by the way, please play the question. You're taking it out?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great.
I have just seen the article published yesterday. I'll just straight up quote to the allegations, Yeah. By this email, I want to remind you about the following. Instead of improving our travel logistics, it all went from bad to worse. Our president, Mr. Chaube, didn't mind to publicly announce that the team will get charter flights to reach Saudi Arabia before the away game versus Afghanistan. So our fans still think that we have used charter flights to reach there, not knowing that we actually traveled 3 days there and back to India prior to the most important games in our history. The Afghanistan team reached India before us and slept all night while our players traveled 30 hours without sleep after the game in Abha city to reach the venue in Guwahati. We have been left to work without GPS equipment for over 200 days, even though we continuously kept reminding you how important this was for our work. India was the only team at the AFC Asian Cup not having GPS equipment. Now comes the more,
1 second,
ridiculous
Trisha.
part.
There is a question. Before you
Mhm.
continue, there is a question which says, "I will leave if the agenda of this session is to just praise Stimac and turn him into some hero." Sid, yes, point out AIF's mistakes, but Stimac is not a hero. He's a fraud. Hello, who's asked you to stay? Get lost. If you talk nonsense, just get lost. We don't want rubbish people. If you don't understand that there is nobody, no fraud, this is nothing to do with fraud, and Stimac is no uncle of ours. That we are backing Stimac here, we are not. We are shocked at the sad plight of Indian football. That is what it is, and don't threaten us. Don't threaten us. We are not going to make anybody a hero or a fraud. We are pointing out what the letter contains, and we are reading out from that letter. Today, all I want is AIFF to come forward and say, we don't buy this letter. What you have written is wrong. We will take you to court on the other side. So we will see you in court. Finished. It is about our national. All we are concerned about is that national exchequer, national money cannot be wasted anymore. Sid, I hope you get it. I hope you get it loud and clear. So it's not about making Stimac into a hero. Nobody is claiming Stimac is a hero. This is a letter that Stimac had the temerity to write to the Football Federation of my country saying that you have to give me this money. So imagine what plight we are in as a footballing nation. Our plight has been reduced to this that Trisha was just reading out. So before you say such things, please think what you are talking about. We are the ones exposing all of this because we have copies. We are telling people the truth, what is happening with AIFF, what is happening with Steammatch. We are saying both sides and putting things out in front of you. Because you think we are making Steammatch into a hero, I am asking you, why did you give this contract? Why did you give this contract? And what Steammatch is a hero? Steammatch has written in this letter also that I will leave provided you will leave. What is there to be a hero? By the way, Stimac has not been able to take us to the third round, and we are openly saying it. He should go. Now, when he should go, how can he blackmail us? You tell me. How can he, unless he had this contract today, how can he throw it at us and say, "Give me 2 years' salary"? Whose money is it? How can we give him this money? You tell me. What fraud are you talking about? This is a legal case. He will take us to, he's telling you, "I will sue you." Where is the fraud here? Where is the fraud here? We are saying, how could you sign a contract like this, allowing us to be in this plight? Trisha, further more paragraphs.
Absolutely. Agreement between me and AIFFGS, at that time Mr. Shaji Prabhakaran, discussed and reached on 2, 3, 4, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th October 2023 upon contract extensions for me and my staff were ignored after you have decided to remove GS Prabhakaran from his position. Even after having a meeting with President Mr. Chaube 5 months later on March 8, 2024 in Kolkata, when he again promised to me that the agreement will be recognized immediately and that my TM Velu, match analyst Joy, and sports psychologist Shamal will sign their contracts, it took you another 3 months to do so. In the meantime, we have worked without a match analyst for most of the days and without a sports psychologist. There were also several acts of contract breach by the AIFF side in the past contractual period. President Mr. Chaube changed my public statement given to AIFF media. President Mr. Chaube, together with Thai officials, changed my official players list for the Asian Games, adding 3 senior players and allowing ISL clubs to decide which players will represent the country at the Asian Games. The way you organized the travel for our team going to China and back was unforgettable. Boria, here I would like to point out that the second part we all know is true. the travel part, we all know is true, because especially because Rohan and I were there, we were covering everything. We went and met the team the day they landed. We had seen the situation, and by the way, even Sunil and Sandesh after that match had spoken to Rohan, and that was in the mixed zone. That's why we don't have an interview out, but I'm sure if we try to find out, we can find it in the mixed zone, where they had clearly mentioned that they are proud of the team that has come, because it wasn't the best side that they could take. It was a young side, and the travel and everything had put the team under immense pressure and literally set them up to fail. So I don't know, I can only vouch for that part. That's all. President Mr. Chaube arranged the games for the SNT
One second,
without
Trisha.
consult.
We are one second. We are not vouching for anything. We are reading you out Stimache's response to the termination. This is
Yeah,
not Red Sports' letter. Trisha is not reading a letter written by Trisha or Boria or Rahul or Snehashish. It is a legal letter which has come today. We are breaking the news and we are giving you what the coach has written. And he has clearly written this. He has said, I will give me my money in 10 days, or if you don't give, we will take you to court. We will take you to the FIFA tribunal. We will take you and sue you. That is the truth. Now, what do you do as Indian football fans? Again, Shumallo, whether they worked hard or not hard, is how does it matter? The matter now is that dream has gone sour. And what is the end result? The end result is Indian football is the loser. That's it. Indian football is the loser. Stimac will get another job. AIFF officials will remain. Indian football, fans like you and I, will get frustrated, and Indian football is the loser. 4 more years in the wilderness. That is what is the truth.
you know what I'm
Sad.
scared about? The whole this revolution that was there in Indian football, that so many fans were turning out for the games. People were coming out in huge numbers supporting. These things will go, because again we'll go back to that place where we hardly knew when the Indian team was playing. They barely got matches because all this confusion between the AIFF and the coach. If the coach had to go, if they had to sack the coach, they had to keep that clause, right? I mean, and if the clause is there, then shouldn't I'm sure, Boria, AIFF will come up with a hard response to this.
That is precisely what I'm saying. মুরগির খামার থেকে মরিনো বলছি, can't we counter through steam match? Do it. Do it. If you have strong reasons to do it, the first response is you are not talking sense. We have given you an option to take 3 months salary and walk away. We will not pay you this 2 years that you are demanding, and you want to take us to court, take us to court, we'll see you there. Finished. If you have strong basis to stand on, which we hope as federation of our country you will rebut this. You will rebut this letter saying what you are saying is not true. What you are saying is wrong. Why don't we get that? Let's take Igor Stimac to court, saying that this is what he's saying, that he wants 2 years salary, etc., etc. Or if he does take us to court, let's fight the case. Let's fight the case and win it and teach him a lesson. Do we have such strong legs to stand on? Is the question. Pankaj, now you are making sense. Qualifying to round 3, how big opportunity we lost because of such people? Ask these kind of questions. Ask these kind of questions. Team matches, fan, etc. Who's a fan? I'm a football fan. I'm an Indian football fan. I wanted my team to go. I was acutely angry, frustrated because of the referee. Now tell me something. Have you seen a AIFF? That letter was sent by the AIFF the next day. Have you seen a follow-up? There are 14 instances which our colleague Rohan pointed out where FIFA has apologized. Basis a mistake. Have you seen an AIFF follow-up? Have you seen another letter to AFC? Have you seen another letter to FIFA? Why not? Tell me. Tell me. Rahul, you follow football every day. Tell me, why is there no follow-up?
I don't know, but the first thing that I am in, I would support Igor, because I think, of course, Igor hasn't given result, but at the same time, you don't have any right to give such a bitter farewell to a high-profile coach like Igor Stimac, because he has clearly pointed out in the letter that in every article wherever they have, they did the story that AIFF has sacked Igor Stimac. Every article there is only one headline where it is mentioned clearly that AIFF have sacked Igor Stimac. it could have been in a different way. It could have been, AIFF have mutually parted ways with Igor Stimac. That would have been a farewell for such a high profile coach like Igor Stimac. And of course, now I think it will affect the reputation of Igor Stimac, because suppose, think about us, if AIFF hires some new head coach, and if you read any article related to him, that where it is written that that coach has been sacked by this nation earlier, what will be our first thought about him? I think the same thing is going to happen with Igor Stimac, and that's where I think AIFF have no right to do such kind of things with. And we have got one super chat here. Let me show it. So, expose AIFF officials immediately, real culprits. So
Top 10 Prime TV. Is that your name? No, I mean, that's not your name. Very stupid
I think
question.
it's a channel
But
name or something.
yeah, but Rahul, so here's my point. I'm not concerned with Igor Stimac's image. I am more concerned with the fact now when we approach a coach after Igor Stimac, when AIFF approaches a coach after Igor Stimac, what happens? Do you okay, Snehashish? If I was AIFF coming to you, a reputed coach, come and coach in my country after all this drama that has happened, would you come to the country?
Yeah, definitely. I will have a second, third, fourth, fifth thought before coming to coaching India, because this is the only fear that I have right now. Because everything what is happening right now, one day after, 7 days after, everything will be done and dusted. Okay, whoever wins, either AIFF or Ego Streamers, that will time will tell. But whoever wins, that these things will come to an end after a certain time. But ultimately, the Indian football has to grow from where it is now, right? And for that, we need a different coach. We have to approach a coach, whether it is an Indian coach or whether it is a foreign coach. That will also time tell. But whoever the coach, if I am the coach, I know what AIFF, what is the relationship between the previous coach and the AFF officials have right now. So that bitter relationship will definitely strike in that coach's mind, and it will be a very hard job for AFF to find a good solid coach for Team India. And
So
right now,
this guy has given a Snehashish, this guy has given a very good answer. Murgir Khamar Chede Morino Buchi. I think on the contrary, more coaches will come to India looking at this joke of a contract.
That is
Love
true,
you.
but
yes,
he is correct because Boria, if you knew that there is a faulty contract which can be used, if the match is proved right, and if AIFF, first of all, I want to know where will AIFF get the money from? Let's say they get it from taxes. Every coach will come and they will make sure that there is no exit clause in their contract. They'll say we'll coach only if you have the same contract that you gave to Stimac, right, Boria?
I don't know how a contract like this could be done. I don't know
It's
what
a
is
joke. It's
going
a
on.
sorry
He's sort
state
of
of
clearly alleged. He's alleged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are serious allegations that are going on. People are like writing in one after the other. People are writing in saying what is going on. Steamach should worry about getting a job. He should go back to gambling star. No, he will get a job or not get a job. How does it matter to you, yeah? It doesn't matter to us. We want our football to grow. That's all we are concerned about. How does it matter? Steamach is what, 56, 57 years old. He's enough money. He has got enough in his life. Football World Cup winner. So he doesn't. Don't need to concern ourselves with Steamach. What we need to concern ourselves with AIFF and Indian football, and where is our football headed? Himadri, the fact that no channel except Brave Sports is covering this issue is the reason why such contracts can be done.
I agree.
Sad plight of Indian
Boria, I
football.
completely agree.
Himadri Chakraborty, professor at IIM in Lucknow, the fact that no channel, flash this comment, no channel except Brave Sports is covering the issue is the reason why such contracts can be done. Sad plight. If that is the case, that others don't want to cover Indian football, Rahul, when you go to the ground, do you see no interest in Indian football? What is the problem?
Actually, that was my first thought when I first time I stepped into this field and started covering Indian football. That I think India is a cricket dominant region, and hardly people follow football. They are all over cricket. but it took only a 1 and 2 months to change my perception, and then I was totally shocked by seeing the numbers. I think in India, if any sports that is mostly followed by people is cricket, but second to cricket is football, and after that all other sports. I think so. There's no doubt about it. Football is the second most followed sport in India. So how can we say such things like this?
Host and top 10 who gave us that super chat, top 10 Prime TV. He says host an interview with Shaji and Nilanjan and ask about the logic behind this contract. Have the expose what's going on. I'm telling again here, if Shaji and anybody, Nilanjan, A, B, C, D, whoever it is, wants to give an interview and clarify why this contract was done, who was behind it, what transpired actually, we will put out every side of the story. We have no agenda. We will put out every side. If Stimac can be exposed, if he is not telling us the truth, then let him be exposed. We want the AIFF to take Stimac to the cleaners and tell him point by point, like he has. This is not true. This is not true. This is not true. This is not true. You want to take us to court? Take us to court. We will deal with you in court. That should be the stand of the federation. Here, the coach is telling the federation everything that you've done is wrong. And the letter is shocking. It's a strong letter by his lawyers, and it says in 10 days I'll take you to court. That's quite, I mean, it's damning. It's damning for a federation of any football. Snehashish also changed his. Trisha, your frame has to be adjusted.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So thoughts, Trisha, about this? I mean, where does Indian football go from here?
Good question. I think it goes, Boria, you keep saying Indian football has gone back 4 years. I will actually better you in this. Indian football has gone back a decade now. With this rubbish happening, with this kind of contract, it almost seems like AIFF didn't even take this seriously. If this is true, then AIFF didn't take it seriously at all. And if this is false, then AIFF has to set an example. Otherwise, how will I trust the administration, the football administration of my country? I'm also investing in that. I'm investing my time, my passion, my love for the sport. We are always there on the ground as reporters, yes, but as fans as well. And it's not to then get these allegations which aren't even replied to as of now. I hope it's replied to. For Indian football's sake, I hope it's replied to. And as I said, I am more apprehensive about the fact that we might not get another coach, a good coach, a famous coach. Results we'll see later, but then at least we should be in a position where we can approach good coaches. But this
Rahul,
fiasco will leave us nowhere.
Rahul.
Yeah, I also agree, Trisha. I think Igor has just revealed the clearer picture that was going on behind the scene for AIFF. In many instances, we have seen uh, there are many wrongdoings by AIFF in every instance of Indian football. To be honest, in some report I have read that AIFF spends around 90 lakhs for newspapers, but they don't have enough money to send the team to Ava City via charter flight, and not only that, the last comment that Igor Stimac has mentioned, that he has every evidence, he has written evidence of every point that he has mentioned in the letter. So 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 that's very interesting. So now, and also another point that he has, I'm just forgetting that point. I will just look here. Where's Trisha's comment? Yeah, that thing, the team played, around two crucial games against Afghanistan without any psychologist and also an analyst. In the modern day football, we all know how important an analyst is. Even the opponent team, Afghanistan, also had an analyst, but our Indian team in Doha Asian Cup also we saw the Sham, all the psychologist was there, but against Afghanistan, the two crucial game, there was no psychologist because AIFA promised Igosti match that they will solve their contract, but they delayed for 3 months to do so. So I think this kind of step was needed to be taken by someone, but fortunately, Igosti match, who is currently no more the coach of Indian team, he is taking these steps against AIFF. So I think not only me, I think the entire football fraternity is satisfied with these steps, and I think we can see some brighter picture going forward.
No, I have to say I'm not satisfied with this. I don't want my football to be reduced to this. I think what Trisha said was right, that Indian football has been pushed back by a decade. So if I was planning to get my child into football, I will say this is not the sport to get into. So I'm not satisfied at all. I don't want a foreign coach to come and expose the deep malaise that there is in Indian sports administration. I'm sorry. I'm absolutely not in favor of that. Igor Stimac doesn't need to come and show me the mirror. I am good enough to see my own mirror. If that is the case, then seriously there is a problem with us. It is the other thing. It is the other way around. I mean, I think it should have been AIFF who should have got Igor Stimac and said, listen, we have to part ways in this manner. Yes, you could not take the team to the third round, but there is a way to part ways, and it is this, amicably or whatever, without making things ugly like the way it has become. India has lost a week back, and look at where our football stands today. AIFF versus T-Match is now a national scandal. It is a national controversy. Every day somebody is tweeting, somebody is giving a letter, somebody is writing in, somebody is saying, I will take you to court. If this is the reality of Indian football, Trisha, I'll give you the closing words. Both you and Rahul, I'm sorry, we deserve better. Our football deserves better.
Absolutely. And our players deserve better. I think of the players. Uh, think of a Sandesh Jhingan. Think of a Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. What happens from here? Can you imagine the kind of anxiety regarding the apprehension regarding the future among the players? Will we even have a national team? What happens if Stimac takes down AIFF? These are proof correct. What if AIFF has to pay? What if AIFF doesn't have to pay? And it's a case. For how long will we be away from football? Because see, ultimately, whether Stimac is sacked, whether AIFF is wrong or Stimac is wrong, the talks have been taken completely away from football, which is what we should be concentrating when we are talking about sport. So for me, I'm only hoping that the next time we come live, we have a statement from AIFF, which at least gives us some hope, some faith as Indian football fans. Rahul.
I agree. Rahul?
I have nothing to say. It's unfortunate that we have to, go live to do live shows and discussion regarding these kind of stories in Indian football. But at the same time, we can't see any result on the field. But behind the scene, a lot of things are going on. So it's really the sad side of Indian football. I'm just hoping for a brighter future. Hopefully, we'll see some, bright future for Indian football in the coming days. And that's what I can hope for, being Indian
I'll
football.
finish saying I just wish and pray and folded hands that the leadership just gives us something and says that these allegations are wrong, that these are not true, and and this kind of thing that okay, we'll take you to court, etc., will not hold water, and they take steam match on and get Indian football back on track. Because if this is the way Indian football sort of goes in the weeks ahead, then as Trisha said, if you are a Gurpreet or a Sandesh or a Rahul Bheke or a whoever you are, Changte, your future doesn't look great. And it's a sad, sad reflection on how our sport is governed and our sport is managed. It's a sad reflection. We'll finish on that note. We'll finish on that note with the promise that every update will be broken on Rev Sports and everyone questioned. It is Stimach who will be questioned. It is Kalyan who will be questioned. It is Shaji who will be questioned. Everybody, if we deem fit and think that it is important that we put things out, we will. That is our job. That's exactly why we are, and we will put out these facts. We will put out these facts. Thank you very, very much for watching. On a very sad and disappointed note, thank you very much for watching.